is that all the people in SF11 were like, I want to stay, if I could do this over again, I would. And I was like, what are these people under the influence of that makes them so happy? And so that got me thinking that you, SF13, might be wondering if we actually do anything during the year other than just vacation with one another. And so I assure you, there will be times when you sit in a classroom and you think to yourselves, what is she talking about? And there will be times when you are asked to calculate things and you will say, I have a calculator in front of me, and a textbook, and an iPad, and a computer, and a cell phone, which I can use to call all my friends, and I'm at MIT, and I'm by the Media Lab, and there are supercomputers here, and I can call anybody I want to, and all of my friends are in this building, and I have no idea how to do this. And so I take for granted that that's going to happen to you, SF13, and I love you during those times too, and we all do. But this is not a time for us to talk about how to calculate present value and how to do accounting, because you'll have your time for that. This is an opportunity to get you charged up, because you are at the best institute in the world. And within that institute, you're in the best school in the world. And within that school, you're in a program that's older than the school itself. So of course we're making a big deal out of this. And if you don't feel a little bit of that positive energy, watch this. Good morning, class. Good morning. Thank you all for coming. We've got an exciting case to study today. My name is Professor David. And first I'd like to introduce you to our TA, Augustine. Augustine is one of our graduate students here at MIT. He's 13 years old and he has an IQ of 400. Augustine, do you have any comments for me?
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the introduction, Professor. I'm Agustin. I will be your teacher assistant during the next weeks. I'm currently a PhD student here at MIT, and I'm finishing my thesis right now from a very, very interesting subject. It's about how Indonesian monkeys change their behavior with the direction of wind. Really, this for sure has a lot of applications in your day-to-day life after the program, but I won't explain them because you won't be able to understand them right now. So thank you and enjoy the class.
Thank you, Augustine. Augustine will be recording your participation over the course of this class, and your grade is heavily dependent on your participation. We expect you to read the case and to listen carefully and to make comments. Of course, those comments need to be quality comments, so if you just talk, that doesn't count. They have to be quality comments, they have to be relevant to the case, I'll be with you in a moment, and whether or not they're quality comments will be all up to Augustine, and he'll record that in his computer, okay? Now, we have a fascinating... we'll be with you in just a moment. We actually haven't started the discussion yet. We will be with you. The case we're discussing today is a fascinating case. It's a Harvard Business Review case. It's the Claude Grunitzky case. And many of you have read it by now, but we'll be with you in just a moment. Many of you have read it already. It's been published for over 30 days, and it will undoubtedly fall into the archives of famous Harvard business cases, including Southwest and FedEx and so forth. So I'll be with you in just a moment. Just a moment. All right. Thank you. I like to feel all the energy in the class. It's really fabulous. I've heard about you, Sloan Fellows. So this is a fascinating case, and just out of curiosity, how many of you read the case? Just, okay, a few of you did. Great. So why don't we jump right in? I have the case right here. Let's begin with strategy. We have a lot of classes on strategy in the Sloan program, and I'm especially interested in what Claude Grunitzky's case strategy was, what his strategic approach to this case was, and I'd like to know if anybody has any thoughts about that. Yes, gentleman, you have a name card?
Yeah, my name is Adala from Kenya.
Hi.
Professor David, Okay, Professor David,
yes,
I really enjoy your class, but there's one thing you're missing.
Yes.
The role of Africa. Things have changed in Africa. The governments, the NGOs are working hard to support the startups and innovation. And today you're not mentioning at all around Africa, and I want to educate you around this subject.
Claude, what company do you work for, Claude?
I work for the Coca-Cola company.
Coca-Cola?
Yes.
Yeah.
What I would like to share with the class is that GDP is going to double, middle class is going to double, we are going to improve a lot of infrastructure, and people like Claude need to come back home. We need it because these are the resources we have so that we can actually be proud of it. And when you look at innovation, especially, for example, if you look at East Africa and West Africa, they're now working together like
Just stop you for a minute, Abdullah. Did you read the case?
By the way, the governments are working hard. Excuse me.
Sorry, what were you saying?
The governments are working hard.
Yeah.
We are putting everything in place.
Yeah.
The weather is perfect. Yeah. Great national parks.
Yes. Oh, right.
And you know what?
It's an excellent point. What I'm trying to do is, I'm actually trying to look at Claude Grunitzky's strategy in this case. Anybody help me here? There's a gentleman in the back. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor David.
What's your name?
I'm sorry, I don't have it with me today.
Oh, that's fine.
My name is Kailash Varna, and I'd like to pick up where Abdullah left off. Strategy, we talk about strategy a lot, but I'm from California, I work in the biotech industry, and I work in a number of different companies. I've run companies before, I worked in multinational companies, and really what I'd like to talk about is, Abdullah brought up a very interesting point about Coca-Cola, and we think that we could actually make a Coca-Cola a drug delivery vehicle for a number of different drugs that I think would be very useful in Africa. What do you think of that?
It really has actually nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it leads me to a question. Did you say, fascinated by your background, Kailash, did you say, do you work for biotech, biopharma, pharmatech?
All of the above. Pharmatech, biopharma, biofood, all of the above. And I think the most recent thing that I'm really interested in doing is actually understanding better about how biotech can have an impact around the world, you see.
Anybody read this case? Just in your class? Is there anybody who might be able to help clarify? What we're looking for, just to reiterate, what we're looking for is strategy. We read the Claude Grunitzky case, and we're looking for his strategy. Claude Grunitzky is the protagonist. Harvard wrote the case. Is there anybody here who can talk to me about the strategy? Is there anyone who's not Facebooking? Is there anyone who has, anyone? No. Is there, no. Anyone? Yeah, look. So, I have a model. I have a model that I've written about. You've read, of course, the book that I wrote and the assignment that I made. I have a model. It's a theoretical model, and as you know, theoretical models are very useful for understanding complex ideas. My model is, as you know, the BBLLNN stopwatch speed clock stock and flow model of strategic interpersonal leadership strategy, also known as the BBLLNNSWSCSFMSILS model. And I'm wondering whether or not any of you in your work, which was due last night at 5 o'clock, were able to write up and make a connection between that model and the Claude Grunitzky case. Yes.
Professor, may I ask a question?
Yes, of course. Sal, front row. I see your name card. What can I do for you, Sal? You look good. Nice suit.
Professor, what exactly did you just say? What did you mean?
Yeah.
Does
anybody have? Yes, the young lady in the back, Monique.
Professor,
Yeah.
can I take a stab?
Please.
Great question, Sal.
I recognize you from the government. Did you work for the
I
government?
did work for the government.
Did you? Yeah.
And I think I could take a stab at this. But before I do,
Yeah.
please, Professor, let me say what an honor and a privilege it is. How grateful I am that you have taken time from your book tour, from all of your research, your important research. It's an honor. It is an honor and a privilege. Thank you. I think in the context, as we think about Sal's question, and of course it's a very important case, I can't forget, I walk by it every day, Professor. There's these words on the wall.
Now, when you, just to clarify for my own understanding, when you say the words on the wall, are you talking about like restrooms?
Let me tell you, no. The words on the wall.
For example, you mean like don't sit on the copy machine?
No.
No, you're not talking about that. So like no parking?
No.
No smoking? No parking in rear?
No.
No. So anybody? No.
No. Principled, innovative leaders who improve the world.
Principled, innovative leaders who improve the world. And this is on, I believe, this is on one of the Sloan walls. Is that right?
Did I mention what a privilege it is?
You did. that was an excellent point. And, thank you. Augustine made note of that. You may sit down. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody who, okay, even if you haven't read the case, is there anyone who was conscious during this class who would like to share? It looks like we have just a minute left. Is there anyone who has anything about the strategy that, yes, gentleman in the front.
I'll have to admit, Professor David, I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't see your...
Oh, I'm Claude Grunitzky, I'm the protagonist in the case.
Where are you from, Claude?
I'm from Togo, France, and United States.
Oh. Have you, that's very impressive, but have you had any large-scale clients or worked with any big companies, or are you just sort of a rookie?
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to work with big clients.
Is that right?
But I didn't really get to be the case.
Is that right?
So I did want to share some of the strategy because it is about me.
He didn't even read the case, and he wants to talk to us about the strategy. That's interesting, isn't it?
And the strategy is about...
How do you feel comfortable talking about the strategy if you didn't read the case, Mr. Claude?
Well, because it's about the group. It's about us. It's about no small fellow left behind. And the reality is, now I can share the strategy. It's about networking, networking, and networking.
Yeah, that is the truth.
That's the 3 words in the case.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, man. All right, we are out of time. Your assignments are due at 5 o'clock tonight for tomorrow's case, which is we're reading Walmart and FedEx and Southwest and a few others. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.